Mhm.
Damn.
The woods welcome you. The woods are no place for a princess. The woods welcome you. Know that the creatures here are neither enemies nor friends. There are hunters and prey. For you? Perhaps. The Viridian Sentinel once kept the wild at bay for the folk of Bankurai, but his power wanes. Soon he may regret saving the Princess of Evermore. Her mother already mourns her death, so why interrupt the natural course? Gravely wounded, but yes, Princess Alara is here. The Sentinel tends to her, and it takes all his power to draw her away from death. He would welcome aid if you wish to give it. We Weird have fulfilled our part of the bargain and shall offer no more. He'll be at the Standing Stones by Viridian Lake. His power is strongest there. Look for the broken statue. It overlooks the altar where he works. The Sentinel is part of an ancient pact made long before living memory. A guardian of the woods of sorts, who anoints his or her successor without needing our approval. Not all Weird believe we should continue to honor the pact. The Glenmoral Weird were not a party to the original pact. It's only our connection to the forest which binds us to it. The Sentinel is no true ally to the Weirises of the Viridian Wood. His sway over the natural order is anything but natural. If I had a seed for every man, woman, and child who asked me that, I'd cover the land in ivy in a fortnight. We are of the forest, and the forest is of us. That is all an outsider needs to know. The Sentinel is part of an ancient pact made long before living memory. The forest is old and powerful. Long ago, a man not of the forest found a way to harness the forest's power and bend it to the will of his people. They called him the Viridian Sentinel. The title and its power has been passed down for generations.
Sad, isn't it? Poor child. No. As the Sentinel, I must warn you that these woods are unsafe. But as old girls, I'm glad to see a friendly face. I remember when that child wasn't more than a knee's height, and now she's laid out like a corpse. She was attacked and left for dead by the wayside like a beast. Well, she won't die on my watch, not if you can help me. Around the lake, you'll find rings of mushrooms, fairy rings. But fairies aren't what I need. Take my amulet. Get down in the center of the rings and feel the earth. I need the energy from there to keep Alara alive. I need to take the child back to my hut. It's just up the hill a bit. Can't miss it. Well, the weird won't call me anything different. Most people who live around here call me old girls or just Stenwick. The Viridian Sentinel is a bit of a mouthful, don't you think? Makes me sound more important than I really am. These woods have a life and a mind of their own. Well, what I do is make sure it doesn't get out of hand. There's some good folk who live near these lands, and without a firm hand, why, the wild would grow right over them. Me? I'd left Evermore and decided to live my life in the woods. And I met a man here, the previous Sentinel. He needed help and I stayed with him. When he grew too weary, he blessed me with the title. A long, long time ago. Once I even worked as a royal gardener in Evermore. But, well, I'm more comfortable in the woods. It's where I belong. If I was younger, I could instantly purge the poison running through this young lady's veins. Now it takes all my strength just to keep her breathing. Poor dear. Just in time. I've made a Alara that'll help her wake. I'll channel what energy I have left into her. The amulet should be able to sustain me afterwards. At least I hope it will. This'll just take a moment. Took more out of me than I thought. Go on, give it to the poor girl. I'll be all right.
I was asleep? What am I doing in this hovel? And who are you? No, I remember. Stenwick brought me here. I was sick. Apologies, but I still don't remember. Then you have my gratitude. I feel weak, but not unwell. It seems my outer wounds have all been healed. Tell me, stranger, how fares Evermore? Is my mother well? I see. My mother must be in mourning then. I will send word that I am well, if Stenwick is willing. Ah, we have company, it seems.
The forest feels your weakness, Sentinel. This is treacherous ground.
Enter, Daemara. Was that a warning or a threat?
Stenwick, who's this? Oeiris?
Yes, child. You will know more of them soon enough.
Is that so? You're more foolish than I thought, old man.
Don't think anything of this. The Weird are a strange folk. The Weird and I have always had a tenuous relationship, but saving Ilara was something I needed to do, regardless of their objections. It will make this process harder than it needs to be, but I still have some spirit in me yet. It's quite complicated. Suffice to say, they don't think I should use the Forest power for such things. Of course, they'd much rather I didn't exist at all. But it changes nothing. There's work to be done, and I'm not getting any younger. Oh, my salve was but a reprieve, I fear. In order to safeguard Ilara, I need to do something drastic, and I'll need the Weird's help. You've seen the Spriggans of the Forest, I'll bet. There's one that's much older and much wiser than the rest of them. Some call her the voice of the Forest. In a way, she is. I need a bud from one of her branches, one freely given. It can harness the full power of these woods to safeguard Ilara's life. May I ask your aid? They are guardians of nature in the truest sense, and I am a guardian of the people. Our interests don't always coincide. They see my role as Sentinel as unnatural, though the Sentinel has existed for generations. Oh, my salve was I fear. In order to safeguard Ilara, I need to do something drastic. And I'll need... Some call her the voice of the Forest. Find the voice of the Forest. It shouldn't be difficult to find, but if you must... Many Spriggans carry a spore that returns to the voice of the Forest when the Spriggan dies. You could kill them and follow it to the voice, but that certainly won't make it very happy. Take my amulet. Its power is spent, but the voice of the Forest will recognize it and grant you an audience. Wyris Damara may not welcome you when you take the bud to her, but persevere. She knows what the Weird must do.
I won't sit here and let you do all the work. We have to find the voice of the Forest. If Stenwick needs a Spriggan bud, then I'll do anything to get it for him. I suppose you're right. I'll stay here with Stenwick. But this Forest voice, if it's like a Spriggan, it will react to their deaths. I bet you could kill some Spriggans to draw it out. And if we never find it? No. Kill the Spriggans. It's the best chance to do this quickly. Probably. But they're animals. I don't see any other way to reason with them. Stenwick needs the bud, and we don't have time to coddle the Spriggans. We need their cooperation, whether they intend to give it or not. And if we never find... Probably.